Okay, the doors have opened, evidently, so it is time to get out there and take a look at more games. Welcome to the GMS magazine at Spiel 2022. Over the last few weeks, I've done 3 reviews for 3 games that, although they are for the younger players, I can tell you they are really fun, really good looking, and that's put Korea Boardgames into my list of companies to keep an eye on because they are doing some incredible stuff. And I'm here with Moon, who is part of the sales team of the company. So, Moon, tell me, I mean, we have had an extremely busy Spiel, and you've been at it smoking.
Tell me about it. Super busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you brought a few games that I would love you to tell me about because they look incredible and they've been doing really well. So what do we have in here?
So we have 4 novelties this fair, this Essen. And how about I talk about what everyone is looking for, Prince of Florence. I'll introduce the game first. So originally it was out in the year 2000. The main difference for this version is basically the artwork. Of course, there's going to be a single-player mode, but I think most people will enjoy the classic gameplay. Quality of life issues, we revamped the artwork and AI. For the player board, we thought it'd be a bit boring to just have one-sided player board, so we added some options. So it's more fun for everyone. And just as a brief introduction for people who don't know Florence, of course, it's a little bit more complicated than this, but basically, with your profession cards, you have to complete your work value by in the first stage, having a bid, the auction stage, and in the action stage, you can either buy buildings, buy cards, or place down your profession cards in order to get points. And points or florins, so either money or points, and then in the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins. Okay. It's a very brief introduction, but I hope everyone enjoys the new artwork.
Okay, let's go a little tiny bit deeper into this because it looks way too interesting to not say a lot more about it. The cartography looks absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
We have different player boards.
Yeah.
What are the players meant to do in a round? How does the one round place?
So in the first round, let's say I'm the gray player. First, let's say, for example, I have this card in my hand. Okay. I want to get this component. This is the forest. And I will bid, and then I will say I want this, and the other players will compete with me. I'll bid 300 florins, I'll bid 400, until there's a buyer. And then if I win, then I would place this down. Let me just wipe this off the map. Okay. Place this down, and then later on, as the next turns go by, I will go to the action phase, and here I can buy a building for, let's say, 700 florins. If I buy it, I place it down. Buildings shouldn't touch each other unless there's a way to make them touch, but at first you can't make them touch. And then eventually you complete these requirements in order to get work value points. And with the work value you can decide whether to get points or whether to get florins, more money. And whoever has the most money wins.
That sounds deceptively easy because I bet there is a lot of strategy and backstabbing here.
Of course. But I have to explain this to many people, and this is how I get them into it.
I think it's amazing because you've just suddenly made that game very accessible. So that is fantastic. Okay, let's go on to the next one. What is Shark?
So
because
Shark
this looks very different.
Of course, it's an economic game, originally released in 1987. But we revamped the artwork for this as well. Basically, you want to keep the classic gameplay for these 2 games, Shark and Florence. But then basically for Shark, the gameplay is not that hard. The economic element is why we made this age 10 plus. Okay. The gameplay itself is not that hard. I'll just show you how the pricing works. Okay. Basically in this game as well, you need to make the most money in order to win. Let's look at the green stock. Right now it's at 8,000, and I'll tell you the reason. So the way the price is determined is if there are, we add the chains. There's this thing called chains. So 2 colors of the same color, if they're 2 buildings of the same color, if they're stuck together, they're in a chain. So this is a chain of 2. This is a chain of 2 green, chain of 4 green. If you add it all, it's 8. That's why it'll be 8,000. So that's how the price is determined. At the beginning and end of your turn, you can buy or sell stock. But in the middle, this is the main mechanic. There's a dice rolling mechanic. So this is the region. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a shark. This is the building color. So basically, in the shark area, we add a red building. If we add 1 red building that's isolated, you just get a little bit of money, just 1,000. But let's say if you make an addition to your chain, you make your chain longer, the price will increase. So as an initial bonus, you will get that price that you landed on. And then after that, you will look at everyone who has that stock. The stock just increased by 1,000. So for this player, has 1 stock. The price increase was 1,000, so you just get 1,000. For this player, 5 stocks were available. So 1,000 times 5, 5,000. Basically, this is how you earn money. But this game wouldn't be fun if there was no losing money. You know, if you just make money, everything's good. You have to make other people lose money. So basically, let's take this situation as an example. If the next roll was a 4 red, let's say the player adds a building here. Basically, if 2 chains collide and one chain is lower than the other, the lower chain gets destroyed. So by placing this, first my red value goes up by 1,000, settle the money, and after you settle the money, these 4 will get destroyed, removed from the game completely. So you can't place these back into the board. These are done. And then, this was 4 buildings, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The stock drops are 4,000. So, as you can guess, this person will lose 4,000. This person is 16 stocks. 16 times 4,000. And yeah.
A lot of money. That's bankruptcy.
Yeah, it is. So you first pay. And if you don't have the money, then with the rest of your stock, you have to sell it for half price. If you still don't have the money, then you're out. You're bankrupt, out of the game. But this is very rare. This is for high-risk players. Usually how the game ends is if all the stocks are sold or if 1 colored building is all used on the map or destroyed.
So this is capitalism at its finest.
Oh, of course. It's no fun if everyone's, someone has to get hurt.
Well, I'm quite happy. I like backstabbing games, so I'm quite happy with that. Okay, 3rd game. This looks completely different. And you were mentioning this is a little bit heavier.
Heavier, I wouldn't say. This actually has a lower age group. Shark a while ago is for age group 10.
Right.
This is for age group 8.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So,
Would you like me to
please,
briefly
yeah,
introduce?
because it looks very good, actually.
So if you look at the tiles, here, I'll make it start like this. So originally, the tiles are you don't know what's under the tiles at first. You shuffle them. There's more tiles than this, but once you shuffle them, they should be all covered like this.
Right.
So the objective of the game is these kind of tiles. There are 5 relic tiles, and as you move forward, some of these tiles at the end will have these kind of relics. And once you dig them out, you can keep them.
Okay.
And if you get 2, then you win the game.
Okay.
That's the objective of the game. And so I'll show you how the card mechanics work. Basically, like most deck building games, you can earn money, you can move and do something else, but these are the 3 main cards. With this, you just get, if you put it down, you just get 1 gold because it says number 1. Let's say I am the blue player right now. So let's say I want to move. If I use 1 movement, I cannot go here. This is movement required. The movement required is 2. So I can go here. Let's say I go there, open it. So in this, there's a shovel icon and there's a shovel card. So if you want to shovel out this 1 gold, you can do so. And I did. And later, as you keep moving forward, there's going to be certain tiles like this one. If you keep moving forward, you keep using movement cards. Some tiles will have a treasure chest, and these treasure chests is first time. Whoever goes here first will get the prize. Everyone else will get nothing. So if I go here, I will go get 1 gold. Let's say in another turn, the red player goes here. It's nothing. So it kind of promotes adventurousness. All of the tiles are hidden at the beginning, so you don't know what's there. And because of these treasure chests, you end up, instead of going to the most efficient path, you want to adventure here, adventure there, and get as much as possible. And there's one thing that I want to show you that's different in this game compared to other deck building games. Let's say the turns progress. Before your turn ends, you have to draw 5 cards. Here, there are only 3 cards. So let's say you draw this. You have to make a decision. Is it worth going forward? I can go forward, but is it worth it? If you decide no, put your cards down, you go back, and then, if you want, you can buy a card, and then shuffle. This is the only time you can shuffle. In normal deck building games, or normal, in other deck building games, what you would do is basically, you need to draw 5 cards, you would shuffle this, put it in. You cannot do this in this game.
Oh, okay.
And so normally what happens is, in other games, you go forward, you shuffle, you go forward, you shuffle. Here, you go forward, you have to go back. You go forward, you have to go back. And then you build your deck until you can go further and further.
I like that sense of, if you want to expand, you need to go back, you need to recuperate a little bit, exactly, and go back. I think that, I like that, because when you were describing the game, I thought, this is going to be a very quick game that ends right away. But no, if you have to come back, then that's not that easy. One question I have though, once you flip a tile, can you go back and retake the resource, or is it depleted?
You can take it.
Okay.
So that's how you earn your money.
Right. So as the game progresses, you know where to go in order to get the resources that you're going to be needing as the tiles are flipped.
But the treasure chests, as you go, have bigger rewards. So we still promote a bit of initiative, a bit of adventurousness. But of course, if you want to play safe, you can still make your money consistently, going back and forth.
Yeah, but if you play safe and another player does not, then the other player may get the treasure. I don't like the sound of that. I'd rather be the one getting the treasure. So, okay, this is really original. And by the way, it's looking fantastic. The artwork is gorgeous. Really gorgeous. Can you tell me something about the artist and who did this? How did the artwork happen to be?
If you look at we credit our artists. So, the real name of the artist I didn't contact personally, but then the artist of the illustration is Odang, and Sogum, it means salt in Korean.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
our development team did a great job talking with them. So
the art direction in general is absolutely fantastic. I really, really like it, which is something that, as I've been reviewing your games over the last few weeks, there are 2 things about the company that really strike me. One is that you seem to have a very wide variation of games for all ages. And you seem to be very good at reinventing games in a really fun way. Because Mystical Ladder, when I played it with some kids, they had an incredible blast. They really loved it. And City Chase, they couldn't stop playing it. They really loved the frustration of, I was there, so no, now I want to be the... It was really, really good. Very, very good. Is that a line that your company is going to continue doing, of supplying games for both kids and adults?
of course, so traditionally we did more mass market games, family plus, but we like to spread board game culture in Korea. We have a big, we like to promote board games, not just to sell, but just promote the culture in Korea. So to do that, of course, we started with family plus games, children's games as well. But, in the end, we all love board games, and we want to promote Florence, Shark, this kind of game, Expedition. So
But also,
more board games, the better.
Also, children grow up, and children who play today Mystical Ladder, in 3-4 years' time, they may be playing this. So I think it makes perfect sense. Florence came out a long time ago as this Shark. Why did you decide to remake these games rather than going for new games? Because there is an incredible amount of talent coming out right now from Asia with some really cool, amazing games. Why revisiting older games?
I mean, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with revisiting.
Oh, no, not at all.
Of course, but we did the old version of Florence as well, and we were a bit sad, that people maybe don't remember it, or if the newer generation, they maybe have heard of the name, but I think it's a good thing that we have the older gamers, and then the newer generation come together, connect through revisiting these kind of titles.
I think that's also, to be honest, I think that's an absolutely beautiful thing to do, because how many times, I mean, I'm sure this happened to you, it's happened to me, that we have games in our shelves that are a few years old and they completely disappear, no one remembers them, and you look at them and think, but this is a great game.
It's the feeling that remains, you know, like the nostalgia. Maybe the newer generation might not have this nostalgia, but it's kind of, I don't know if it's my job, our job to kind of share this.
And they are still very good games. You know, they haven't stopped being games because they're 20 years old. So I think that to bring them back and making people remember those things and relive or even live for the first time that kind of experiences with these games, that's absolutely fantastic. Very, very commendable. So I hope that you keep doing that. That's brilliant. That's really great. Okay, this is a bonus game that I didn't know we were going to have. So tell me about this. It looks a lot simpler than the other three games that we have seen. And yeah, it kind of looks really appealing to me. What's the objective of this game?
So this is called Fake Art Incorporated. It's a party game. There's 3 rounds to this game, and each round, the preparation is on the left and the price list is on the right. Obviously, this is written in Korean, but in each language, it'll be localized. So basically, the story for this game is that there's so much fake art in the world, you don't know what's real anymore. Your job as a player is to sell as much art as you can, make as much money as you can. Whoever has the most money wins the game. So this is a 3-player setup. Up to 5 players can play, but in this case, this is player 1, player 2, this is player 3. In round 1, you draw 5 cards. So I draw 5 cards, only I can see it. The cards on the table, there's going to be 2 on my left, 2 on my right, and then everyone can see it. From player 2's perspective, this is the left card, this is the right card. And then so on. Player 3, this is the left, this is the right. What's important about the left and right cards, they determine the selling price of the card. So this is the price list. If there are no cards on my left, there are 2 cards on my right. Basically, the market values this portrait to be very real, so very expensive. If the cards are like this, for example, the market is not sure if it's real or fake. Some people believe it's fake, some people believe it's real, so it's only $2. So you get how this works. You manipulate the price, and then when you sell, you have to make a lot of money. So basically, that's what you do. But that was just kind of to introduce you to the game. How it actually begins. First, you have to bid for your turn. So let's say I want to go first. The player next to me goes, I want to go first. The player here goes, I want to go first. And whoever wins will get that turn. So let's say the turns turn out to be yellow, red, purple. And later the yellow player plays. And as I showed you, there's only 3 things you can do in your turn. You can either sell, you can negotiate, or appraise. So selling, a while ago, as I showed you, you put your card down, you look at your left and the right, and then you have to try to sell it for a high price. The other thing you could do is appraise. In order to sell cards for a high price, you can switch out these cards. Switch them out, and then discard the other card. A while ago, before I switched it out, the price for this card was 2 because there's 1 on the left, 1 on the right. I switch it out. Now, this price is 5. If I had another yellow card, I could have, I guess, done this. This would have been 10. So you manipulate the price for yourself, but also you could do this. Let's say for that player, for me, this is fake, this is real. For this player, this is fake, this is real. It's the perspective, how the market views the cards. So if I see this, I think this player is going to sell a red card for a lot of money. What I can do is appraise this, and then appraise this. And if they were going to sell a red card, now it's useless. It has no value.
That is evil.
It is, right? There's one other thing you can do. When you play your cards first, I just explained it very briefly, but so you're supposed to put the same colors down together. The reason is you announce what you're going to do. Let's say you want to appraise this one and then sell this one. That's your intention. You state your intention, and then the other players have a chance to negotiate with you. They say, oh, maybe if you do this, you'll only earn $2. So maybe I can pay you $5 for this. And then the other player goes, I'll pay you $10 for this. You make a deal, get their money, give them the card into their hand.
So could they take their hand, the card into their hand, and then mess them up?
They could if they wanted to. That's why turn order is important. At first, this doesn't seem important. Every round, you bid for your turn. And then later on, people get desperate. So they bid more and more for a better turn order. If you look at the price list, you can just see the numbers. Round 1, the selling price for 2 authentic cards is 10. Right. Round 2 is 15. Round 3 is double of the round 1 price. So the stakes get higher every round. And so at first people are very timid. They're like, yeah, we'll just switch out the cards. Later they get desperate. They want to make this money, so they end up bidding a lot.
That sounds hilarious fun. I mean, this must be really intense when people get to backstab each other to get their pieces and destroy their reputations.
This is my type of games.
Yeah, no, I love this. I could spend hours playing this. Yeah. Okay. Of course, right now it's in Korean.
Of course.
When is it going to be localized so we can enjoy it everywhere?
I hope soon. We're looking for partners in each region, so you there. Hello. So yeah.
Fingers crossed it happens very soon, because I think this game has a lot of legs. This could be a really fantastic, really, really good. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Okay.